Karen Black, a major star, creates a television first.
There's a golden chain wrapped around it to keep the spirit from making the doll come to life.
Face to face to face with the unbearable unknown. Trilogy of Terror.
You blow it! You blow it! You blow it! You blow it!
Welcome to You Blew It. This is the show where we watch turd sandwiches in high definition so you don't have to. Reliving our childhood one Blu-ray disc at a time. Jesus Christ.
Wow, man.
Yeah, fuck. Sorry.
Wow,
my name is Thunder, aka Camaro Kev. Over there's Mr. Roden. We are in the Roden Family Fun Center.
We are indeed.
And I'm not reliving my childhood. I guess I am, sort of.
You are.
Well, no. I mean, I didn't see it when I was a kid, but boy, did I hear about it.
You heard about it.
Yeah.
I have never heard about this. And boy, do I wish I never had.
It was Brichter Blonson on the playground
Good
who
Lord.
told me in third grade, you've got to see this movie, Trilogy of Terror is how he put it. Because at that time, we didn't know what a trilogy was. And also how trilogy was spelled, apparently. But he told me there's this little tiki doll with a knife who is terrorizing this woman.
Right.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the doll comes to life. It's got a butcher knife, and it chases this woman all over the house. It's a horror movie. And
he said it was awesome.
He said it was awesome.
Yeah.
And
this kid was a fucking idiot.
Well, first of all, if you saw that portion of this movie when you were that age too.
If I only saw that, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Of course, because the rest of
I
it's
don't know,
like
dude.
born.
I don't know if even I saw this in the 1980s that I would think
Bullshit.
it was I would think it was good. I don't really think I
didn't say
I don't
good.
know.
I'm saying that when you're a kid and you see something like that, it definitely makes an impression. And again, remember what year it was. There was no Chucky doll. None of that shit you never seen anything like this before at this time.
When did Chucky come out? Did we establish that?
In the 90s. It's got to be like 90.
No.
1990,
No. Child's Play?
Yeah, it's got
Are
to be like
you kidding me?
90,
no.
91?
82.
82? What are you,
Yes.
insane? It's a play on My Buddy. My Buddy, My Buddy, My Buddy.
My
and
Buddy
me.
came out in the early 80s, dude.
My Buddy came out like 89, 90 at best. Maybe 88. Maybe.
Okay, looking it up right now.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
88 at the earliest is what I'm claiming. That is what I'm claiming. This movie came out in 1975.
Yeah. Release date, you are correct, 1988.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that
not
was
quite
Child's
90.
Play, by the way.
Not quite 90.
Yeah.
But
when was Puppet Master? That was 90s.
yeah,
Puppet Master
probably,
was 90s,
yeah.
right? Puppet Master.
I mean, seriously, if you think about...
1989.
I'm sure there was something, but like this would stick in your craw. If you were in third grade and you saw a little tiki doll running around stabbing a woman.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, this came out in 1975. We said that, right?
Yep, I said that.
Now, it was a made-for-TV movie.
Well, that was what was crazy about this. So when this kid was telling me this, he didn't know that, and I didn't know that.
Right.
It wasn't until several years later that I saw the video cassette of it that I was like, actually, I don't even think the video cassette. It was when this movie came out on Blu-ray. It's Kino Lorber put it out, and they put right on the back, like one of the all-time classic horror made-for-TV movies, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Right.
75.
And it was basically, it's a trilogy of like shorter stories. I think they're about, 25 minutes a piece or something
altogether it's 72 minutes.
72 minutes?
So, they have to make time for all the commercials, especially back in 75.
Right. So,
and it's one woman, Karen Black,
Karen Black was famous at the time for being kind of what else had she been in?
Well,
she had been in a ton of stuff. Like she was in oh my God.
Five Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson.
Easy Rider.
A bunch of it seems like she played maybe like she was like a character actor, and sometimes, especially in the 70s into the 80s, they would make the transition to TV to get more work.
Right.
And so apparently, I don't know. I didn't know her. Did you know Karen Black? Do you know?
No, but then she started naming all these because we watched like some of the extras and they had this pretty extensive interview with her that had been done a long time ago, by the way. It was not a new interview. But she had started naming like all these movies that she had been in. Oh yeah, because she died back in 2013.
Okay.
Apparently, R.I.P.
Yeah.
But she was, she had a pretty extensive career, man.
Yeah,
a pretty
yeah.
impressive one.
Yeah.
So,
But the weird thing about this is it only stars her. It's called Trilogy of Terror because there's 3 separate stories, but she plays the main woman in each story.
Yes.
But is a different character in each story.
right. Oh, that's right. She was in The Great Gatsby.
That's right.
Like the original movie with Robert Redford. Yeah.
So,
all sorts of stuff.
So right off the bat, let's talk about, this is a made-for-TV movie in 1975.
Right.
The stories are kind of done like vignettes, almost a la Twilight Zone-ish, but
Yes.
not quite as out there.
Right.
I mean, I guess we did have a tiki doll that comes to life, so that's very Twilight Zone-ish.
Yeah.
But I was shocked a little bit.
At the first story?
The first story is
It's called Julie.
is it called Julie?
Yes.
The first one is, or the second one?
The first one.
What's the second one called?
I don't know.
Because I thought that one was more about the name of a woman because it was about the 2 sisters or whatever.
I think it's called The Two Sisters.
Oh, is it? Okay. So this one is you meet these 2 guys that apparently we figured out were like, this isn't a high school, but it's got to be like a.
It was hard. It was hard to decipher at first. Like you couldn't tell whether it was a high school or a college.
It's like a community.
It's like a community college.
Yeah.
Is what it. Yeah.
And the
is what it
2
looks
guys, those 2 students, are sitting on a bench talking.
They're just.
And they look like they're like 30. The both of them are like both 30 years old.
Conservative.
Yeah. Like these guys are college students. We knew right away, we're like, okay, they can't be trying to pass these guys off as high school.
Right.
But the dialogue these 2 assholes are having is like, it was something like,
it's all about like what the one guy is like saying how many dogs
That's
there are
right.
on campus, but there's like literally gorgeous women
walking by.
walking by him. He's like, oh
School's
god,
full of dogs.
School's full of dogs or something like that. Yeah.
And then you see this like bookish woman with like horn rimmed glasses coming in, like
wearing a brown skirt and a brown jacket. Yeah.
And the one guy says, I'd like to see what she looks like under those clothes.
Right.
And we're like, what the fuck is going on?
I think he said something. I've just gotten the overwhelming urge to find out what she looks like under those clothes or something like that.
And the other guy's like, ew, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Miss whatever? Or whatever,
Right,
you know?
right.
You find out, okay, these guys are in her class.
Right.
And she's the teacher. And this dude
It's a literature class.
It's a literature class. And this dude is a fucking scumbag.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. He's sitting in his desk, which these desks look like high school. It's weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And she sits on her desk and like crosses her legs. And he's like just staring at her legs.
Yeah.
It's really fucking creepy. And when class is over, he comes up and asks her out on a date. Right?
Kinda. Well, they're walking in the hallway, right? And he's like kind of talking about literature with her. I think he tried to ask her out on a date. But
yeah, she's like,
but she was very hesitant, which she should be, right?
She's like, I'm a teacher and you're a student. We shouldn't be doing that.
I don't know how he gets her to finally come on the date with him.
I know.
I can't remember.
So we find out she has a roommate at home,
right?
And her roommate's like Julie, I guess is just Julia.
Yeah.
Julia.
Yeah.
You should go out more. Like you need to have more fun. And she's like, no, I just like to stay at home and read books or whatever. Right.
Right. Right.
So we see that she's like got a roommate, but she doesn't really party, and her roommate kind of parties. And so then this guy says something about going to see a French vampire movie.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like it's some sort of, some sort of artsy film.
And I think that's kind of his way in. It was like, look, it's not a date.
Yeah.
You know, we're reading this book in class, and I like to go watch these French whatever.
Right.
So they go to a drive-in, and she acquiesces, right? She's like, okay, fine, that can't hurt if we're just going to watch a movie. So they go to the drive-in, which is fucking fantastic. Like, and
then he goes to gets refreshments, and he fucking roofies her drink.
Yeah. He's like, you want a drink? He goes, walks around the corner. I love that he goes into. I love drive-ins and the place where you'd go and get the concession stand.
We had one. There was a drive-in in 80s and 90s near my hometown in Paulsbo, just outside of Suquamish.
Yeah.
It was called the Big Bear Drive-In.
I remember.
And even up until like the early 2000s, I think the sign was still there, but the drive-in movie theater was not. But man, I loved that fucking theater, dude. I loved it so much. You
go to the concession stand.
Yeah.
Walk through. It was almost like a cafeteria. You know, but and it looks like they shot this at an actual drive-in because there's no mistaking what a concession stand at a drive-in movie looks like. And
right. It's galley style.
Yeah. There you go. Galley style. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes in, and then when he leaves, he like walks around the corner and puts some drugs in her fucking drink.
Roofies the fucking drink, dude.
Takes her
to a hotel.
It's fucking unbelievable. This is a TV goddamn movie.
Yeah, this is on
TV
television.
Movie.
Takes her to a hotel.
After she passes out.
Yep. Puts her down on a bed, pays for the room, starts taking off his clothes, and then he starts taking pictures of her, too.
Yeah, he puts her on the bed, takes a picture, and then starts going down onto the bed and unbuttoning his shirt, and then fade to commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he goes into the hotel, he's like, it's $13 a night. The old guy running the hotel tells him.
Right.
And he's like, do you have any bags? He's like, yeah, it's me and my wife or whatever. Which I don't know why. It's like, okay. Yeah, then he goes in, takes a picture of her.
Yeah.
Cut to commercial. We come back from commercial, and she's waking up in the car going, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I guess I dozed off. He's like, well, I guess it was kind of a boring movie. And she's and he's like, we should do this again. She's like, yeah, I don't think that'd be appropriate. Just this one time.
Yeah.
And fucking dude ends up using it. He ends up telling her, like, he calls her again and says, hey, we need to go out on another date. She's like, no, I told you this is, and he goes, you need to meet me and I need to tell you something. This is the most fucking disturbing shit, dude. Especially like,
That's right. I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that like happens.
It's very. I mean, each one of these stories are pretty quick, but like, So they meet at like a park.
That's right.
And it's during the day, and
But they're in his car.
They're in his car.
Like that's the weird thing too. It's like why get into his fucking car?
Well, at this point, she's not creeped out by him.
I think she was a little bit.
Yeah, but he goes, hey, I really got to tell you something.
Yeah.
And then when they get in the car, he like pulls out these photos and goes, if you don't go out on a date with me, if you don't keep seeing me, I'm gonna tell, I guess the school what's been going on.
Yeah, real creepo.
And so then at this point, you kind of like fast forward a month later where he's just like, he has her. He's like, she basically comes over whenever he wants.
Yeah. She's like showing up back at her house, kind of roommate's like super concerned because she just looks exhausted.
Yeah, I'm worried about
like
you.
That.
Like, what are you doing now? You're like out all the time.
Right.
And this dude is like, he like makes a drink and then just basically, she services him. It's that. I don't know any other way of putting it.
Yeah. He keeps her basically as a slave. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where you get the fucking Twilight Zone twist, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
she looks all disheveled, like her hair's all disheveled and stuff like that, like they just fooled around or whatever. She makes his drink, brings it over to him.
That's right.
And then he's drinking it and stuff, and she's like,
I'm bored.
I'm bored now, and like I'm bored of this, and basically,
he's like, you don't get to decide.
You don't get to decide that.
I do.
And she's like, this was all my idea.
It's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And then she's like, oh, everything that's happened, this was all my idea. Like, and he starts choking.
Yeah.
And then she explains it, you know, kind of the big reveal is like, this was all part of her plan. She's
But
kind
still,
of
I don't understand.
a psychotic teacher that like makes students fall in love with her. And then she gets treated like some sort of like, she gets, you know, she makes them rape her. Basically.
Yeah, this is what
This is where like I was just like, what an awful, what an awful,
terrible message,
fucking message this is sending. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, it is the woman's fault.
Yeah,
she wanted it.
Well, and
that's kind of what it's saying, right?
And right after it was over, we didn't have much time because it goes right on to the next story.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think, how would she plan this out? So she would go like, I guess because then okay, well we should say how it ends. So he dies.
Yeah, he dies.
Okay? And then you cut to there's like a newspaper story says young student found dead.
She cuts out the headline and the picture of this guy that was found dead, and like puts it into this massive book that she has of like
with all the
these
headlines
these clippings of students that have
she's
died.
killed.
Yeah.
And then as she's putting it away, she's like smiling. She's getting off on it. And then you hear the door knock. And then she opens it up, and there's another young man outside.
It's a male student looking for a tutor.
Hey, she said, "Oh, we can start today immediately."
Yeah,
and
we're gonna be real good friends.
We're gonna be really good friends, and then that's how it ends. It's like, oh, whoa, snap, dude! But then I was trying to think, how would she have
planned?
How would she have planned this? It was like,
it makes no sense. There's no
she would have to know, like,
way.
okay, this one
unless there's like magic involved. Unless she put a spell on this guy.
She would have to go like, okay, I noticed this guy's a real horn dog.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to walk past him a lot. I'm going to sit cross-legged in front of him in class until he approaches me, and then I know I've got him. It's such a...
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's bizarre.
It's super bizarre.
Really good, though. Really good message. Good Lord, man.
Yeah, dude.
1975 TV movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so second vignette.
Right.
And you loved this one.
Oh my God, it was so dumb. It was so easy to figure out too. It was just like from the get-go.
Yes.
You knew what was going to happen. Right? It's a older kind of like mousy woman. She's very pale. They've made her up to be like they've basically put makeup on the actor Karen Black.
Yeah,
is that
Karen
what her
Black.
name is? Yeah, Karen Black, to make her look like she doesn't wear makeup.
Yeah,
you know.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
where they like color her lips the same color as her,
like flesh,
as her cheeks,
yeah,
or something like that. You know, so there's absolutely no color in any part of it. In any part of her face,
and she's very like proper and like, you know, over the top and proper,
right? And she's narrating this whole vignette, and she's like, it starts out, she's talking about her sister and how awful like the sister is. The parents have died, right?
Oh yeah. Oh no. And let's not forget that she's also saying like, my sister from the age of 12 seduced my father, like all this like weird shit.
Yeah.
She's been manipulating and controlling ever since we were young girls and all this shit.
Right, yeah. And like the father is recently deceased.
Yeah.
Right? She misses him dearly. You get the idea that they're a very well-off family.
Yeah.
Like very rich.
Because the sisters have inherited this house.
Yes, yeah. But the sisters kind of hate each other.
Yeah.
The other sister is very,
she's loose.
Obviously, she's
She's
loose
a
girl.
loose bitch. Her sister basically talks about her. She's a floozy. She seduced my father to get what she wanted.
Right.
She uses that in all of her life to get what she wants and all this shit.
And it's a lot of narration.
Yeah,
it's a lot of narration. It really, I mean, it doesn't leave the house.
No, and she talks about her sister's locked herself in her room, and you don't see the sister, you just hear, and so then
and it's extremely obvious what's going on.
At this point, you're like, there's no sister, it's her.
Yeah.
And it is totally obvious.
It's so fucking obvious. And then this guy shows up, right?
Guy?
Yeah, there's a guy that shows up.
Yeah, who's the guy?
Well, it's like it's supposedly the boyfriend of her sister, right?
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about the doctor. Okay, yeah.
So this guy shows up. This is the part that doesn't make sense at all.
That's right.
It's like this guy shows up and he's talking to her as if like she's not the sister, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And like she's like, hey, if you don't stop seeing my sister, like I'm gonna tell everybody like what you did or whatever.
She's horrible.
Yeah.
But doesn't she explain to him that like my sister seduced our father, and he's like, I don't want to hear this. That's where we learn, because she's telling him. You just reminded me. It's not in the first part. Like she's like,
I couldn't remember what they were talking about, but yes.
The dude's like, why are you telling me this? This is disgusting. I'll hear nothing of this. Do you think? Okay, you're right.
But I don't. But see, that's the part I don't understand, because he doesn't really give any inkling that he knows that. Why are you talking about yourself like this?
But
or something.
Is he fooled? Does he think that there is actually 3 sisters? Because when we do find out, we meet the other sister. She's blonde and's got makeup on.
Obviously wearing a wig.
Obviously wearing a wig.
Yeah.
She's a slut.
She's totally
She's
slutty.
a slut.
Bright red lipstick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe how would anybody be fooled? But maybe like
I have no idea,
dude just thinks like they're both just very eccentric.
Well, I think it's just like, it's the movie's trying, the people are trying to throw you off, basically.
Which again, if you just think about it, doesn't make
they
sense.
probably like watched it back and they're like, this is really easy to figure out. Let's say we got to put like got to put something in here to kind of like make it not as obvious. I don't know. Maybe.
So she calls this doctor who I thought you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Who is the dude who was from Punky Brewster?
Yeah, the dad.
Who's not Punky's dad, but like adopts Punky.
Oh yeah. The adopted father,
Mr. Watermer or whatever his name is. So she calls him and says, "Doctor, my sister's getting worse. I need you to come over. She attacked me and she's locked herself in the room her room. She won't talk to me right now." And so he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll come over or whatever." And then she goes up to the room and's like yelling if I remember correctly, she's like yelling at her sister through the door.
Right.
Because her sister's ignoring her and it's driving her crazy, which is another obvious. The sister's not answering because the fucking sister is you, but this is another thing to throw us off like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Cut to break.
Yeah.
Doc shows up.
And it's the blonde.
The blonde who's answers.
That's there.
And
trying to turn the doctor on.
Yeah, like trying to sit on his lap.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, doctor, I've been bad. Like just trying to, she's slutting on him. She's slutting on him.
Yeah.
And he's not having any of it. And he's like, you can't do this anymore. You can't treat your sister this way or whatever. And then they have a blow up and he leaves and she's like yelling at him, right?
Right.
Like as he's leaving or whatever. Now, this is where I forget what happens after this. Because he ends up, does he end up calling because it's, he eventually comes in and finds her dead, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but I can't remember how she dies.
I'm pretty sure he just finds her dead. Did she take her own life or something? I can't remember now. That it's playing in the background. We'll get to it eventually here. Maybe not, but...
Well, I think so the sister and her get into a fight, right? And then she basically just kills herself.
Yeah, but we don't see that, right? Because if we did...
No, because the big reveal is the doctor taking off the wig and wiping the lipstick off of her lips. And it's like, oh my God, it's the same
what a reveal.
Yeah,
dude.
just
one,
what the fuck?
And then he says, "This was the worst case of dual personality
I've ever seen."
Yeah, because the orderlies are taking her out.
Yeah,
but that was the thing. He finds her dead and then calls calls the orderlies to come and pick her up, and that's when they come up and they're like, and he's like, stop.
Yeah, but I
stop for a
can't.
second?"
I'm still
Me too,
failing to remember how she kills herself.
Yeah.
It was either by gun or by knife or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it was, shocker.
But I think what it is like, I haven't heard from either sister in some time.
Yeah.
And he goes and checks on him and finds like, I don't. So yeah, look at that. The fucking wild. Now we get to Brichter Wanson.
The coup de grace.
Brichter Wanson, who told me about this entire fucking movie, was this one vignette.
Uh-huh.
Which,
I can't believe you made me fucking watch.
It was 72 minutes.
I don't care. It felt so long.
No, it
felt
didn't
so
feel that
fucking
long.
long.
That's a lie.
You know why? Because
you're a liar. You're lying. It wasn't that long.
This one, so the final story too, like, has these parts in it where she's just talking on the phone with she's like at a friend's apartment or something like that.
Yeah, she's watching someone's. Millicent and Therese is the name of the second vignette.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so she's like watching over somebody's apartment or something, right?
Like a condo or apartment or something. Yeah.
And she calls her mom up. She's like, "Hey, mom, and she's having this whole one-way conversation. I hate this in old movies
and TV shows. TV shows did it too,
where it's just one person trying to make up a conversation that they're having with nobody.
Yeah.
Like one actor trying to just ad-lib a fucking fake phone conversation, and it never sounds real.
No.
It never works.
No. And especially back then for TV shows or especially TV shows and TV movies.
Right.
It's always just
it's garbage.
It's so not a real conversation, you can tell.
Yeah. It's so dumb. And so and there's 3 of those in this
Well, this vignette it's just her and this tiki doll. That's it.
Yeah.
So the only dialogue you hear is her talking to someone on the phone. That's it.
That's her mom.
You don't meet any other characters either.
Right.
So the conversation that she has with her mom is, "Hey, Mom, I'm not going to be able to do our normal hang on this Friday because I started seeing a guy." And then she gets in a fight with her mom. It's like, "No, I don't. I still love you, Mom. It's just, blah, blah, blah." And then so she gets in an argument with her mom, right?
Who did she buy the tiki doll for, though? She tells her mom about this tiki doll that she buys.
This new guy she's dating.
She bought it for the guy?
She bought it for the guy.
Okay.
And it's this, it's an old fetish doll is what she calls it.
Right.
She calls it a tiki fetish doll. And she's like, "Oh, it's the most ugliest thing you've ever seen. It's hideous. It's got these sharp teeth and this scraggly hair."
They say that it has the soul of a warrior in it, or a hunter.
Yeah.
A soul of a hunter in it. And the soul is being held in the tiki doll by this silver chain.
Yeah, this idol that it's wearing.
Yeah, so you can't take the silver chain off, or you will release the soul or whatever. And so she just she puts the doll down on the table.
But she has a big blowout with her mom, though.
Right.
Remember? So she tells, and all of a sudden her mom hangs up, and she's like, "I don't understand why she gets like this."
Yes.
Yeah.
And she puts the doll down on the table, and lo and behold, the little silver medallion chain
falls
off the tiki doll. Oh my God.
And she goes into the shower.
Is that where she
I
went?
think she goes to take a bath or a shower. She's getting ready for the dude to show up.
Yeah. And then she puts something in the oven, right?
Yep.
She takes out a baking pan.
She puts a steak in the fucking oven.
She puts, not even on a broiling pan. This woman just puts a fucking 2 steaks
on a baking sheet.
On a baking sheet.
And cuts the steak with a knife on the baking sheet.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of this was. Yeah, she cuts the steak.
On it. It's like, ugh.
And then I think she maybe put some salt on it. Maybe.
Yeah, she seasons it and puts it in the oven.
And then puts it directly into the oven.
This kitchen, by the way.
This is the last time we see these steaks.
1975 kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Legit
to the max.
1975.
To the max.
To the max, yeah.
You remember that wallpaper that had wildflowers on it?
Yeah.
Everybody knows this wallpaper, dude.
Yo, totally.
It was orange flower petals, yellow flower petals, and white flower petals.
Yeah.
Maybe and then they all had like brown, like the center, where all the pollen is and stuff like that. It was brown in the center.
And it's papered on below the bar of the and on the walls.
Yes.
It's like it's fucking crazy.
Dude, it reminded me of my grandparents' kitchen in Enumclaw. They had this like burnt orange. Their cabinets, I think it was their cabinets. I know it was definitely the countertop was a burnt orange linoleum countertop. Not linoleum, but what's that hard
Formica?
plastic? Yeah, Formica countertops. And man, dude, oh my God, that shit brought me back.
Yeah.
It really did.
I mean, the whole the decor of this apartment / condo is ridiculous.
Dude, that was, I mean, God, I can't fathom sometimes when I see pictures of like the green shag carpet in my grandparents' house, or like the burnt umber color of their cabinets used to be, where it was like a weird kind of carved cabinet too.
Yep. Yeah.
Like that shit ain't never coming back.
No, there's no way.
There's no fucking
can't.
way. It's like that is like so far away from anything that was ever tasteful.
Yeah, it's so gaudy, so cheap looking.
Yes.
So like just. So
anyway,
she puts the steaks in the oven, and if I remember correctly, she gets a call from the guy, and the guy is canceling the date.
Oh, that's right. Poor lady.
And then.
But she's like, wait a minute, where's this?
And
she puts her hand. She puts her hand down. No.
I can't remember if she calls her mom back and says, "Hey, I'm available now" or something. I can't remember. Didn't she call her mom again after that?
Probably. There's so many of those one-sided conversations. I was like, oh my God, she's having another one. But then she realizes that the tiki doll's not on the table anymore. Yeah. She's like, where is that thing?
And she finds the medallion sitting there.
Yeah, she finds the medallion sitting there. She doesn't think anything of it. And then she's like looks underneath the couch.
She's like,
and
you
she
fell.
Pokes her.
She's talking to the doll, by the way, too.
Yeah. She pokes her hand on the spear.
Yeah, that's right. It had a spear, yeah.
That it was holding, right?
She's like, oh, you poked me with your spear. She's trying to reach under the couch. She can't see. It's so ridiculous.
So fucking stupid. So she goes around to the other side of the couch. This is like they are just drawing.
They're trying
out
to build
the time.
tension. They're trying to build tension.
And it's so bad.
I don't know.
It's
I was
so
scared.
bad. Oh,
I was
come
scared,
on,
dude. I was
come
scared.
on, dude.
I don't know.
And she goes around to the other side of the couch, right? She still can't find the thing. And then is that where it like clamps down on her and she like brings it out?
Yeah,
and
it's like biting her. And Brichter said that on the play. He was like, he goes, chasing around, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's got these teeth. It's like, and it's got a knife. It's got a knife. And
well, it gets a knife from the kitchen.
Yeah, it gets a knife from the kitchen.
Yeah.
So the rest of the vignette is her trying to get away from this fucking doll.
Yeah. And this doll just going.
Yeah. And it's like, she'll close the door. The doll will find a way to jump up and open the door.
Right.
Like she goes into the bathroom and all this stuff. She
at some point, like if this ever happens to me or to you or to anybody listening, like a small doll type thing or toy comes to life and tries to murder you, you always have the upper hand. You will always have the upper hand. I promise you.
You could just kick the thing the second it comes near you. You just punt it.
Now look,
and in this
sharp objects are scary, man.
Yeah, they are.
They are. And this thing may cut you.
Yeah. How much leverage can it get though to stab?
Right.
Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, it could draw blood. You might need stitches at the end of this fight. Sure. But at the same time, it's like, look, if you don't want to die a slow death being stabbed with these shallow cuts, from a toy.
Yeah.
What you have to do is really,
Yes.
And pardon what I'm about to say, but man up and grab this thing and just tear its arms off.
Yeah.
Like break its arms, break its neck, break the legs.
We should say that height of this thing too is like
it's teeny tiny.
It's really tiny. It's not. It's not like a Chucky doll. It's
Right.
like what would you say, like foot and a half, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Made of, it looks like made of wood.
It's made of wood.
Yeah.
So if it's come to life, if it's animated, then you can definitely bend its arms back behind its
you do all sorts of
body
shit.
and
But it's got
break
these
those
sharp
arms
teeth.
off.
It's biting you though.
Well, then you tear it off. Like I said, it's gonna hurt.
So, okay.
You're gonna have you're going to be maimed at some point.
I hope
but
everyone's
you need
taking
to power
notes.
through it.
I hope everyone's taking notes, or
Yes.
listen to this again in case you ever need to use this for
Right.
advice. Thank you
Right.
for that. Thank you. That's a PSA.
Just saying.
Just like G.I. Joe
just
PSA.
putting it out there.
So, this thing's playing in the background. The slutty sister right now we've got. I forget that her outfit was reminiscent of the Hooter girls' colors.
That's true.
And she has a skirt like those orange shorts. But I got to tell you, now I'm watching this again, and she's got this orange skirt with like a white tank top.
Yeah.
Kind of working for me, dude.
Is it?
She's kind
I
of
don't know.
in her blonde wig. It's absurd, but she's kind of hot. It's kind of hot.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Kind of into it, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of all right. Especially if I was like, seeing this on TV when I was like, 8. I'd be like, that's kind of...
She's a little cross-eyed.
She does got some wall-eyed shit going on, that's for sure. But that's never bothered me.
Yeah.
That's never bothered me. But, So she ends up battling this thing all across this apartment, goes in the bathroom, eventually throws it into the oven with the steaks.
Yes.
And burns it. And I don't... Does it survive that? I can't remember.
Yes.
Or is it because it bit her? Does it just ends up killing her? Is that what happens?
I think it ends up killing her. Yeah. She
And then-
calls 911 at some point when she
that's
locks
right,
it
yeah.
into she locks it in a closet or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
right. Yeah,
And then she also she traps it in a suitcase
that's right.
at one point.
It starts sawing its way out.
and it starts sawing its way out, but at the same time it's like, grab the fucking... And she does, right? She tries to grab the
knife.
blade,
Yeah, the
but
blade.
she's not holding on to it tight enough, so
Yeah.
it cuts her.
It's a whole...
Dude, it's like, come on, lady.
She
Like,
tries to leave the apartment, but it has it locked from the inside and can't open the
She
lock.
can't open the lock. Like, what is that?
I mean, it's classic horror movie bullshit, though. Falling down and slipping,
yeah,
can't
but it's
get
just
the lock open, can't...
it's so poorly done.
Yeah.
It's so
Well,
poorly
it's a
done.
1975 made for TV movie, okay? Okay?
It could be done better.
Okay? Apparently on the back it
Come
says this
on.
guy's a horror master writer. This guy who wrote this, he's a master.
Who
of horror.
who wrote it?
I don't know. Look, I can't read. I
Who
don't have
wrote
glasses
it?
on.
Who wrote this
Some-
fucking garbage? I can't read this either.
Are you serious?
I can't. Dan Curtis.
And yeah, what does it say? It says he's
Legendary producer director Dan or Don Curtis.
the legendary.
The Night Stalker. The
Legendary.
Night Strangler.
See?
Teams up with renowned sci-fi horror writers Richard Matheson, who wrote I Am Legend. Oh,
Not to
that
be
is
not to
actually-
be mixed up with Maddie Matheson.
that is quite legendary movie.
Yeah.
And then William F. Nolan, who wrote Logan's Run.
That's pretty. That's
Actually
pretty star power writing.
That's pretty good.
This
That's
is all
pretty
the
good.
two of them can come up with.
Yeah. I wonder how much they actually fucking wrote on this.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyway, she dies, and then the very ending of that one is she sits up and smiles, and she has the tiki teeth now.
Right.
Like the tiki has.
Oh,
gone
that's
into
right.
her
Yeah,
body.
it's the soul has now
Left the
gone
doll.
into her,
which
right?
has given her the teeth from the doll.
And this is when she calls her mom and says, "Hey,
Hi, Mom."
I'm free now."
That's right.
Yeah.
Dun,
This is
dun,
when
dun.
she invites the mom to come out with her, and it's like, yep, of course,
Yeah.
she's gonna kill her mom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is totally cool because her mom was a bitch to her on the phone.
Yeah, that's
as
right.
far as we could
it's
tell.
like, yeah, mom kind of deserves it.
Yeah.
Though. We never heard her mom.
No.
actually, or heard what the mom was saying.
Never heard what
and
the
maybe
boyfriend said.
this daughter's kind of a handful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she couldn't even take care of a fucking tiki doll. So you know,
Trilogy of Terror.
or cook a steak.
Or cook it.
So you know, maybe this lady, you know, kind of deserved to get killed by a tiki doll. Who knows?
That's Trilogy of Terror, everyone.
Trilogy of Terror.
According,
Yes.
So 48 years it took me to finally see this thing.
Yeah.
After hearing it on the playground and going like, what?
We should have kept it in the closet.
Really should have.
Good God, man.
Should've. I kind of enjoyed it though.
Really?
So
I don't know if I did.
Last weekend, we recorded our masterpiece on the movie we watched the weekend before, which we couldn't remember, and we had to stop down and, and
actually watch the
dog
ending
tags.
of it. Yeah.
So after we did that show, I said, let's put on this Trilogy of Terror and see what's going on here. And since it was 72 minutes, we watched the whole thing. And then when we were done, you're like, we're not doing a show on that. And even I agreed. I was like, yeah, we're not doing a show on that. But then as I was driving over, getting ready to come over here to record an SOD, I said, you know what? Fuck it. We watched the goddamn thing. And it was a thing that like for 48 years was like, what is this movie that this kid talked about? And you know how it is to have one of those nagging things when you're like, you've built this thing up in your head ever since you were a kid trying to like, you know how that shit is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
totally.
I was like, fuck it. Let's talk about it. I mean, we've watched worse shit than this. We
really have. I mean,
So it's
yes,
like, what the fuck?
that's a great point. But I was just so like, I don't know, dude.
No, I get it. It was a weird one, man.
By the way, I remember now how she kills herself in the second story.
How does she kill herself?
Well, because it's happening right now.
Oh, how does she do it?
She takes fingernail clippings from her sister, hair from her sister.
What does she call the fingernail clippings? Something weird.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I took sheds from my sister or something like
sheddings or something like that. Or cuttings.
That's
or
right.
Something.
We should have.
She makes a fucking voodoo doll of her sister, which turns out to be a voodoo doll of herself. And then she stabs the voodoo doll through the heart,
which kills her.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. By the way, and we even said when we were watching, I was like, oh man, voodoo dolls were such a thing, and like
they really were. This was all the Satanic Panic of like era. Although this was actually before Satanic Panic started hitting because Satanic Panic was
but there
firmly
was this,
in the 80s.
I mean,
but
this was a thing you'd see all the time.
Oh yeah, voodoo dolls were fucking
oh my god,
all the horror movies, dude. Yeah. It was so dumb.
I'm disappointed that we forgot that too.
Yeah, because it is actually kind of a funny death.
Yeah, and then when the doctor shows up, he even picks up the doll.
Right.
And sees it like but doesn't think like, holy shit, voodoo dolls work?
Right.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So dumb.
Yeah, really dumb.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I kind of enjoyed this whole deal. Now it's watching it again.
Now that I talk like that this death in the second vignette is pretty fucking great. Yeah. Like even though it's like so, that what the reveal is.
Yeah.
You know what the reveal is going to be, but the voodoo doll just kind of comes fucking left field.
Yeah, it really does.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
So this one has some supernatural shit. The third one has some supernatural shit. The first one did not.
I think the first one would have been better if they would have like made her out to be some sort of like witch or something like that. Like that could control control the minds of the people rather than it just being some sort of scheme.
Yeah.
For a serial killer.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like it wasn't executed well enough. Like they could have made more to that story and made that better and made it work better.
You know what's stupid about it too is the guy deserved to get killed.
Well, yeah.
Totally.
But
he was if it
wasn't his, he was a piece of shit, but they also make you question, like, was he actually a piece of shit?
No, he was. He roofied her.
Well, I know that, but it was part of her plan, right? Like that's the part that doesn't make any sense.
But that's also what I'm saying is like, so then in the end you feel like, oh my God, she's killed so many students. But like, are all of them piece of shits? I don't think so.
Well, that's the thing.
I think
like,
she
if
just gets off on killing these guys.
If it's
and this
her
one just so
plan,
happens to
if
be
it's her plan, right? Does like she make the guy a piece of shit?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, they didn't. I mean, they clearly didn't tell us like how she. Yeah.
How she planned it,
or how she got him to do this shit. It was like,
right.
Either way, like, and then at the end when the other guy shows up and says, "Hey, I'm really looking for a tutor." Like, so does she do something to make him become an evil piece of shit? So he deserves to get killed too?
Well, that's what that. Yes, I don't know.
Let's see. And look, and it's already got us asking more questions, and we're sitting here shitting on this thing, but we're already asking more questions about it. We're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Masters.
Now
of
there
Porn.
is
Masters
a
of Porn.
sequel to this.
There was a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Trilogy of Terror 2.
Trilogy of
which
Terror
is just
2.
Fucking dumb. Trilogy of Terror is a dumb name too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's a trilogy, how can there be a sequel to a trilogy?
I guess there can, but it's another trilogy of terror. So it's Trilogy of Terror.
Numerically, does that even
It's
make
so
sense?
Fucking dumb, dude. It's so dumb. Amelia is story 3.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not,
Well, that was something else, man. And
would you suggest people watch it?
Sure. It's such a fascinating relic of its time. Do you know what I totally forgot about? One of our earliest movies that we did was The Pit. And that was a Canadian made-for-TV horror movie.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The Pit.
Pretty sure. Remember? The Trolologs?
Yes, I
guy
do.
with the
Trolologs. I do remember that.
It was just one Trololog. But the creepy kid would lead people to the pit and throw them in, and the Trololog would eat them.
That's right.
That was a made-for-TV Canadian
That was made
movie.
for TV?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Canadian.
I see. We've talked about The Pit. The Pit has come up in other conversations that we've had.
Yeah, The Pit's
I don't know if
kinda-
if it's been on this show or just outside of the show, but I'm constantly getting The Pit and The Gate mixed up.
What's The Gate?
Do you remember The Gate? The Gate was another group of kids.
Are you going to yawn? You sound like you're going to yawn.
No, I'm burping. I'm holding back coffee burps.
But we've not done The Gate on this show.
We have.
What?
Yes.
No, we haven't.
I'm pretty sure we have.
You're fucking crazy.
No, you're fucking crazy.
Okay,
it's almost like Poltergeist, where they're living in a house and there's a gate to a different dimension.
We've not watched that on this show.
Yes, we have.
We have not done The Gate.
Yes, we have.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh my God.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, we have. I will prove it to you.
Who's in it?
Nobody. It's a bunch of kids. They open up a fucking gate to hell in their backyard.
I've never seen this movie.
Yes, you have.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
you have, because we've watched it for this fucking show.
Well,
I know
we'll look it up after the show. Maybe I was really crunked out that night.
I think we probably both were. Yeah.
Okay,
but we'll have to revisit.
The Pit reminds you of The Gate, or the Gate?
I get both of them like mixed up.
How could you get both of them mixed up? The Pit was like wacky. It was like the kid that had the straight haircut that was blonde, who was really weird and creepy, and was like creep stare at ladies and shit, and then he would get them to go into the woods, and like it was the most whacked out, crazy ass bullshit you've ever seen. It was like, yeah.
Well, see, The Gate it's basically kind of, well, it wasn't the same story, but The Gate was like in the kid's backyard.
Was he throwing people in it to get rid of them?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's totally not the same.
Yeah, but okay, whatever.
All right. How many?
I get it mixed up, okay?
My whole point was to bring up the fact that TV horror movies in the 70s, apparently in the US and in Canada, were quite a thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Some wacky shit. I give it 2 Blu Its.
I give it 1.
You give it 1 Blu It.
I give it 1 Blu It.
I give it 2.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it as much as you did, especially the scenes where like she's trying to ad-lib these phone conversations. It was just, oh God, it just dragged on.
Well,
I was not in a good headspace to watch this.
That's true, but I think Karen Black did a great job. That's what I think.
Look,
It's a tour de force by her. Let's be honest, it is, because she does 3 vignettes. She plays 4 different characters.
yeah. Oh, you mean to tell me she does her job that she was getting paid to do? No way.
What I'm saying is, very rarely do you see a vehicle like this where someone plays 4 different characters in one goddamn fell swoop. So, I thought Karen Black did a great
have you
job.
ever seen Norbit?
I thought Karen Black did a great job. No, I haven't. I don't care about her wall eyes. I think she looked pretty damn hot when she was the slutty sister, and I'm into it. I give it 2 Blu Its. How about that?
How about that?
Thank you, Brichter Wanson, for bringing this into my life. I don't know what you're doing now. Maybe you've followed the footsteps of your grandfather and you're now a dentist, but
Just rich.
there you go.
Just rich.
There you go.
Dentist money.
Ginger. He was a ginger too.
You got a thing?
No
To say?
dialogue on this piece
Yeah,
of
dialogue.
shit?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
Mother. I don't know. It's like, what was she saying on the phone? Oh, you should see this doll, Mom. It's
Hello,
ugly
911.
sin.
No, I don't know where I am.
That's right. She didn't know where
I
she
don't know
was.
the address.
Cut print.
Cut print. Jesus Christ.
I'm here.